What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller, alongside the chosen one, Tim Geddes. How you doing, Tim?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Geddes over here, usually behind the camera. You might know him from hashtag Let Tim Host over on The Fix, but usually you're helping out on the Up at Noon, you're doing something there, you're running a camera. Yeah. Today you're here because you are the only person I know who is obsessed with Crash Bandicoot.
I love the Bandicoot. He's a good dude.
And the Bandicoot's back in the news. Tell me what's happening.
So, a Reddit user named Coco Bandicoot, which you might know, Crash Bandicoot's sister.
Oh, how could I forget?
I'm sure it's actually her on the Reddit.
Yeah, probably.
Reports that, you know, there's a couple weeks ago, there was that PlayStation commercial that
right, live action. There was all this cool stuff in the background.
Yeah, and then in the background, you could see that there was like a sign that looked like Bandicoot. On top of it, an arrow pointing up, and then what looked like the Sony Computer Entertainment America.
I mean, we're going to show it to you in B-roll, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But a little orangish diamond.
So there was literally a sign pointing that Crash is going to Sony.
I mean, yeah, if you want. Of course, Crash Bandicoot started as a Sony exclusive, a PlayStation exclusive made by Naughty Dog. Eventually, those sold off to Activision once Naughty Dog was done with them.
Yeah, after the PS1 era, it went over to Activision.
He had 3 games and then Crash Team Racing.
3 games that were amazing. Crash Team Racing, amazing. Okay. And then it goes to the PS2 era. Activision didn't do such a good job with it. Mind Over Mutant was the last one in 2008.
Yeah.
The Wrath of Cortex was on PS2. Huge disappointment. Wasn't happy with this.
Right.
But it's been a ton of years. I want Crash back. I'm excited about this.
Okay, and then so somebody pulls out these frames from a thing in the background. You're all set to believe it's true, and then what happens next?
So, well, another thing that helps this theory is that there was no sign of Crash on Activision.com. They just took him down.
He was on there.
He was there. He had his own little section, and all of a sudden there is no more reference to Crash. So everyone's like, "Oh man, did they sell it to Sony? This makes sense." But then today, Adam Boyce, good friend of ours,
a friend of the show here, one of the big faces of PlayStation over there, just interviewed him down at that PS4 event.
Yeah, on Twitter, somebody tweeted at him, and was like, "So what's up with Crash?" And he pretty much said, "I don't know. Ask Activision. They own it."
Which we have, and we haven't had a response. Of course, we put this news up yesterday. So, do you think this is really happening?
Honestly, I don't.
Yeah,
but I want it to. I want it so bad.
Why do you care so much about Crash Bandicoot?
There's a whole generation of kids that grew up with Crash Bandicoot, me included.
Right.
You gotta love Mario. Crash was just the next step of Mario. I don't know about
that's a bold claim, Tim.
But I mean, when you play it, it was a solid platformer, and like on the newer generations, we had Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. These are all solid fun. I want some Crash.
See, my thing with it, was I always talk about this on Podcast Beyond, #1 PlayStation podcast on the internet, is the fact that I think Naughty Dog has shown how to make the right moves, right? We will do Crash, we will do Jak, we will do Uncharted, they move on, they iterate, and they do different things. Whereas I think a big problem with Insomniac, right, is like, we will do Ratchet and Clank to death until they, a crack in time, best Ratchet and Clank of all time, right? And I couldn't even get through it. I was just like, I've done this before. I'm sorry, I'm just not down to do this.
To be clear, I don't want Naughty Dog doing Crash.
Sure.
I want another studio, you know, a newer one. Give it a shot. I don't want to change too much up, but I feel like, will it sell systems? A couple.
No, it will not.
No, because there's a huge...
Look at the Sly. I mean, the Sly Cooper games were good and they made money. Don't get me wrong.
See, that's different though, because I feel like Crash has the nostalgia value to it.
He had good commercials.
Where, I mean, just yesterday we posted this article. It got 3,000 comments.
Sure.
There's 3,000 people out there that would buy a PS4 for this game.
True, that is true.
You know?
And the big thing with PlayStation All-Stars, right? Everybody wanted Crash and Battle Royale, but Activision owned it, and then it seemed like there was no communication. We didn't know what was going on, and never made it happen. Which is weird that. I mean, they've started negotiations for that about a year ago, and now they're finally to the point where, all right, you're going to have them back. Yeah. We'll wait and see, I guess. Would you like to have the coolest, funniest reference here, I think, that's possible?
Yeah, go for it.
That Uncharted teaser came out, right? Yeah. Uncharted, done by Naughty Dog. Crash, originally done by Naughty Dog. All we have is a guy saying that for 15 years I've been left to rot in this hellhole or whatever, right? Crash Team Racing came out 15 years ago next year.
There we go.
Crossover.
Uncarded.
If Uncarded happens, ladies and
gentlemen.
If a cartoon Nathan Drake is going to investigate Crash Bandicoot Island, where they eat the Wampa fruits.
Wampa fruits.
You heard it first on IGN. Tim, it's been a pleasure. I hope this works out for you. Please go back behind the camera. For everything about PlayStation games and games in general, keep it here on IGN.